If seeds are going to germinate, they need three factors. They need moisture for enzyme action, or water. They need a suitable temperature for enzyme action, and they need oxygen for respiration. In the first container, we'll set this up as the control, and in the control, we'll have all the factors present. Into the Petri dish, we'll put some cotton wool, and we'll add some water to it to give it a bit of moisture. So just adding in some water. And into this dish, we'll put 5 broad bean seeds. These seeds have been soaked for a day or two to allow them to absorb moisture. And if we put in the 5 seeds, broad bean seeds are a good size, that you can see them very clearly. They're a fairly large seed. Okay, so if we put in our broad bean seeds, and we put the 5 seeds into the container and just leave them there, they'll be left in a warm place, in a room temperature, 20, 25, 30 degrees, anything between 20 and 30 degrees to allow germination. All factors are present here. In the second container, we leave out moisture. Again, Petri dish, we'll put in cotton wool. This time we're not using these soaked seeds. We won't leave out moisture. We're using dry seeds. These seeds haven't been soaked. Same seeds, broad bean seeds, but these seeds haven't been soaked, so they're fairly dry, very dry. And again, 5 seeds. Now, we leave those seeds in there. So those seeds have no moisture. In the third container, we'll set it up again. Cotton wool. This one is going to be at low temperature. So cotton wool, moisture or water. So we add some water as we did in the very first one. And again, this time using soaked seeds. So using 5 soaked broad bean seeds. 2, 3. So we place them in there. This container will be left in a fridge. A fridge is about 4 degrees centigrade, and that's too low normally to allow enzyme action. So enzymes should not work there at that low temperature. In the last container, we want to remove oxygen. Again, we'll start off with the Petri dish and cotton wool, and we'll wet it, so we want moisture to be present. So again, water, adding water. Again, using 5 soaked seeds. Now, if we put the seeds in here, to remove oxygen, we'll use an anaerobic kit. There are different versions of anaerobic kits available, but in this particular case, there are chemicals in this container, and the chemicals, when they're activated, they absorb oxygen. To activate them, you just have to add a little bit of water to the surface. So over the sink, in case of runoff, we just add a little bit of moisture. The moisture soaks into the chemicals, and the chemicals then start to absorb oxygen. To allow that to happen, we put it in there and put on the lid. So we have our 4 containers. The first container has moisture, has oxygen, and will be left at room temperature. The second container has no moisture, it has oxygen, and it will be left at room temperature. The third one has moisture, oxygen, but will be left in a fridge, low temperature. And the fourth one has moisture, will be left at room temperature, but has no oxygen. We leave the seeds for 2 or 3 or 4 days, and we'll check the results in 3 or 4 days' time. Having left the seeds for 4 or 5 days, we check the results. In the first container, all conditions were present. And we can see that the seeds have germinated, that all 5 seeds are showing signs of germination, plumules and radicals. All 5 seeds have germinated. All conditions were present. In the second container, there was no moisture. We used dry cotton wool. And in this case, the seeds which were dry have not germinated. There's no sign of germination. None of the seeds have germinated. In the third container, which was left in the fridge, so the seeds had moisture and oxygen, but an unsuitable temperature, and there's no sign of germination. So the seeds have no sign of germination. And in the final container, because we used the anaerobic kit, which absorbs all the oxygen, the seeds had no oxygen, and therefore, again, no germination. The seeds have not germinated.